get asked all the time why I am Reformed or why I am Protestant. If you didn't know, I'm the pastor of a Reformed church, and I proudly identify as a Protestant. And the reason I choose this tradition to be the one through which I express my Christian faith is because I believe in the spirit of the Protestant Reformation. October 31st is acknowledged on the Protestant calendar as Reformation Day, the day that Martin Luther nailed 95 theses to the door of the Wittenberg Church in Germany, and it's seen as the beginning of the Protestant Reformation. What Martin Luther was doing was calling out the Catholic Church for abuses, both theological and ecclesiastical, in the way that the Catholic Church was functioning in his area in his day. And he called for a return to faithfulness to the Bible, a return to commitment to Christ, a return to the doctrine that faith alone is what God requires for us to experience salvation. I resonate with that. One of the battle cries of the Reformation was reformed and always reforming, and understanding that the Christian faith isn't stagnant. It doesn't have strong and strict boundaries and borders. It's not to be boxed in. Instead, it's an always evolving faith that's trying to get us closer and closer to the heart of what it looks like to follow Jesus in our day. I believe in that. I believe that God is still speaking. I believe that the church should be held accountable. I believe our theology should always be rethought, reformed, and renewed to be aligned with new knowledge. And I believe that in an age where the church is rampant with so much abuse and so many ethical issues, that we need to always be willing to rethink and reform how we have power structures and who gets to lead and whose voices are heard in Christianity. Now, I don't always align with Protestant theology. I certainly don't align with much of Martin Luther's theology. He had some brilliant points, but he's also a raging anti-Semite, and many of his writings on Judaism were used by Nazis to fuel their movement and their ideology. John Calvin also was a brilliant thinker in many ways, but has some very disturbing theology. Like, he preached double predestination, the idea that God created some human beings for the purpose of damnation, meaning they had no hope of salvation. God only wanted to destroy them to show God's mercy to the chosen ones. That sort of theology is something I think we should disregard. And I don't think the reformers are some divinely inspired human beings that we should exalt as saints. But the spirit of what Calvin and Zwingli and Luther were up to was a desire to get back to the heart of the faith. A desire to remove all the things that Christianity had become known for, all of the abuses that Christianity had become known for, and to get back to following Jesus. Faith alone, in God's grace alone, and in Christ alone. And I still, to this day, resonate with that spirit, that theology. I believe we should be reformed and always reforming. I believe Christian faith is a faith of progressive revelation, meaning we're always listening to the Spirit of God and willing to rethink and reform our beliefs, our practices, our ethics, to be more in alignment with the truth. So I am a Protestant, and I am a Reformed Christian, and that actually leads me to be a progressive Christian. And I think that anybody who truly resonates with the spirit of Jesus and the spirit of the Reformation will find themselves being a progressive in whatever Christian tradition that they align with. That's why I'm a Protestant.